If you could live anywhere in the Coeur d'Alene area, where would it be?
Garden District.
Me too.
I love the Garden District.
I love the Garden District.
So cool.
It's the character, the personality, the proximity.
Yeah.
It's kind of got all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So we are breaking down today one of our favorite neighborhoods in Coeur d'Alene. So stick around as we get into the Garden District.
Welcome back to another week with us. Before we get into our favorite little spot, the Garden District, we want to remind you guys, as always, to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below, interact with us. And if you have any questions, you really like something, you want to see more of something, call us, text us, email, really any sort of communication channel stream, we will take it. We love talking about real estate. We love talking about North Idaho. So if you want to geek out with us, holler at your girl.
Yes.
Holla. But let's get into the Garden District.
Yes.
We love the Garden District for many reasons. So we kind of wanted to do another little deep dive into a little specific, right? Rather than just like listing a bunch of neighborhoods. Like, let's talk about one. So we're doing the Garden District today. You want to kick us off?
Sure.
Cool.
So the Garden District, I think, is synonymous with downtown Coeur d'Alene.
Absolutely.
When people are talking about, I want to live downtown, they're talking about the Garden District. Now, obviously, Garden District, the popularity of the Garden District has definitely created sprawl out in other directions. So, yes, downtown Coeur d'Alene, living in downtown Coeur d'Alene could be, Sanders Beach, Fort Grounds, East Sherman, but when people talk about living downtown, they're really in their mind thinking of the Garden District.
Yeah.
So Garden District encompasses the area from Sherman Avenue, which is the main drag downtown, all the way up to Montana Avenue on the north side, and then from 4th Street all the way over to 11th Street. And it's a pretty large area in there.
Yeah.
But we have, 15 different talking points on this, and we're going to kind of expand on all of these. First and foremost, sometimes we hear articles or shows talking about walking scores, and the higher the walking score, the more walkable the location is.
Yeah.
For people of all ages, young to retiree and maybe older. So the walking score downtown, I would say, is 100, which is like the perfect score. In any of these areas, we don't have big, massive city blocks here.
Right.
And so, from Sherman to Montana, it might be 10 blocks, but it's maybe a less than 10-minute walk, from one end to the other, side to side as well. So it's very walkable. And because it borders downtown, you're close to everything.
Yeah.
And downtown is kind of like the economic hub of Coeur d'Alene, like the actual Coeur d'Alene area and the tourist hub of North Idaho. So this neighborhood is in the midst of everything.
Yeah.
So really high walking score. The other thing to note is it's very eclectic. You will see all different sizes, shapes, colors, construction types of homes, duplexes, fourplexes, apartment buildings, commercial space, really old homes, really new homes, which we'll get into, but it's very eclectic. And that's definitely a result of the history downtown.
Yeah.
And some of these homes being really old,
like early
which
1900s.
Is great. Yeah, exactly. Maybe even a little older.
Yeah.
But lots of history, lots of different style, and just a really cool eclectic vibe down there.
You don't really see two houses alike, which is cool.
Yes. Yeah, we love that. So, and then in terms of like urban living in North Idaho, that is going to get you the closest. So if you've come from like a bigger city, like Seattle, Portland, even Boise to a certain extent. I know Boise's not as large as those communities, but if you're looking to kind of be in the action, like you walk out your door and you're close to stuff, you can hear a concert downtown while you're sitting on your front porch. Your urban living downtown is going to be the closest to that. So
absolutely.
Why don't you talk about parks?
Yeah, so there's a ton of, I guess not a ton, but enough of like parks kind of sprinkled out through the Garden District. So you have that Fippany. You always give me the words that I can't say. And is it like, are you doing it on purpose?
Maybe.
Or Fippany Park, which is like right off of 7th Street.
Yeah.
Really big open field. I've seen people do like birthday parties out there and like that little pavilion because it's just like very wide open. You've got McEwen, which is right downtown, which is where like Live After 5 takes place. They do like little carnival type things sometimes in the summers. In the winters, it's turned into an ice rink, which is really cool. So McEwen right there. And then I guess City Park a little bit farther than the Garden District, but again, walking score wise, if you're in the Garden District,
or a bike,
or I was just gonna say when we're talking about walking score, I feel like if you live downtown, Garden District especially, summertime, everyone is just on their bike.
Yes.
I ride my bike everywhere in the summer because it's like straight shot down 7th. So like walking/biking score, I feel like we can kind of like
you're right.
do that for Garden District. But City Park, McEwen Park, Fippany Park, you've got things close. The St. Thomas Cathedral is down in the Garden District, which is like this beautiful old church, just really gorgeous in the fall. It just is like chef's kiss, right? It's pretty cool.
Totally.
Lots of history there.
Yeah.
Sorensen Elementary is in the Garden District, which is one of our magnet schools. And then Foster Avenue, we kind of think of as another kind of like main street because it's
almost like a landmark.
Yeah, because it's
the Garden District.
Yeah, it's like a through street for the most part. There's one stop sign, I believe, on 7th Street, but other than that, it's pretty much a straight shot. A lot of really cool estate style houses. I think that people. It's like kind of an infamous street. It's when you kind of think of driving through the Garden District, the houses on Foster are really cool and again eclectic, a little bit kind of larger, I think, in size. The street itself is wide, which is nice for Halloween. Again, walking everywhere. It's just like a little bit more land, I guess.
It's spacious. Yes, and doesn't feel really congested.
No.
Yeah. So another thing about Garden District is its proximity to Midtown, and again, in the big scheme of things, all of this encompasses downtown Coeur d'Alene, but Midtown is a particular section of the neighborhood on 4th Street. And we've got restaurants, we've got retail there. They're putting in some apartment buildings in there so people can be right in the midst of it.
Really up and coming, Midtown is.
For sure,
the growth has been kind of like really quick again, but it's cool to see all of the different things kind of popping up in Midtown.
Yeah. They've got art lining the streets. They've got like these crosswalks. It's very pedestrian friendly. Lots of great places to get drinks down there, watch some sports. So proximity to Midtown, it's on 4th Street, so it borders the kind of northwest corridor of the Garden District. Craftsmen style homes and new construction. I kind of touched on this a little bit when we were talking about eclectic homes, but again, the turn of the century, 1900s, lots of really like beautiful craftsman style homes, a little Victorian era homes as well. Just a lot of these really beautiful period. There's even this amazing house on the corner of Foster and 10th. It's like an Art Deco style home, and that's always one of my favorites, and it's been revamped and it's beautiful. But just the flavor of architecture that you don't see in modern construction or new neighborhoods, it's there. So if you appreciate architecture and period style homes, you will find them throughout the Garden District. And we did touch on new construction. Not every home in the Garden District is 120 years old, but there are pockets here, especially when, you've gotten an old estate style property and it gets sold and, a developer or builder might come and buy the house, remodel the house, subdivide the lot and put in a new home there.
Yeah.
So there are a handful of builders that really stack construction in particular. And I think Vance Miller is his name. He does a lot of stuff downtown as well, but they do a great job of kind of blending in the new homes into the old homes. So you'll see some stuff that's newer downtown too. Yeah. And then farmers markets and live after 5. Sammy kind of touched on this. Every Wednesday during the summer, throughout the duration of the summer, even into fall. Right now they're changing it into like September, like Apple Fest, Oktoberfest style.
We've had really nice weather too for October, so I think that's been helpful with the farmers markets because it's kind of weather dependent. Like a lot of our events here are, but we've had a really nice like fall so far. So I think that they're just kind of extending it as long as they can.
Yeah. And that's all on 6th Street. So you walk out your door, or 5th Street, excuse me. You walk out your door and you live on Wallace Avenue, 7th and Wallace. You're a handful of blocks away from the farmers market. There's retail, food, flowers, handmade goods, live music. And then as you make your way towards McEwen Park, every Wednesday is a concert live after 5, which we've touched on for events before. But it's, again, the proximity to the activity is amazing.
Again, downtown events. So just always kind of back to that walking, biking point. You're close to the different events, live after 5. We do like Alene every early spring, which is that old classic car weekend, I guess. I don't know, expo, I think maybe you would call it.
It's my favorite.
I know you love Alene. I'm not a car girl. You're cooler than I am.
I love Alene.
But yeah, Alene, they do like a big parade through the streets. So again, if you're like right there, you can
4th of July.
Yeah. 4th of July, Art on the Green, which is like a huge, almost like local makers farmers market. With really interesting art, different, handmade jewelry, like snacks, pottery, even pottery,
food,
and then Sherman is kind of blocked off, and it's just food truck after food truck, and then retail, which is big event downtown you're close to, because those events, parking is a nightmare, right? Because they essentially have to shut down the street. Which is in itself quite a bit of parking. So, and then it's just kind of a madhouse driving wise. So if you're right there and you can ride your bike or walk down to all these events, it's just like convenient.
It's ideal.
It's super ideal. And you don't have to worry again about, I've seen people's cars like blocked in on Sherman because, you leave it overnight and then people go to set up for the farmer's market like around your vehicle. And you're just like, okay, well, I guess it's here for another day because it can't come out. So just kind of not worrying about transportation in general. There's a bunch of shopping, dining, recreation. There's a handful of like fitness studios in walking distance. Again, dining, the resort is right there, so you've got those little like bars, Whispers Patio in the summer, super fun, boardwalk bar, recreation. The boardwalk in itself is a mile, right?
A little under a mile, I think.
A little under a mile for the whole thing, but, just like a nice little stroll essentially on the lake. Shopping, there's Lucky Monkey down there, Mountain Madness soaps, there's Tiffany Blue, you've got Marmalade,
the Coeur d'Alene store.
The Coeur d'Alene store, kind of like gift shoppy, but / convenience store. Just, it's kind of, again, urban for what Coeur d'Alene is.
For sure.
We kind of joke that our bar scene is all of just Sherman and there's only like a handful of bars, but it's developed. We've had a lot of new things starting to open up, and it's just been like a cool, newer age, kind of like younger, hip, trendy, creative vibe that is downtown that makes that kind of, desirable for younger people.
Yeah.
You know,
or more active people too, even retirees.
Yes.
You know, 60's the new 50.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so it's just the proximity. Again, we keep mentioning proximity.
Yeah.
It's just everything's right outside your door. Yeah.
You really can't beat the convenience, you know?
No.
And then I think the last thing that we have is, again, kind of on Foster, there's a big community garden, which is really cool. And I know they do stuff with like Sorensen Elementary. I'm pretty sure they do like a little program out there. But community garden, again, kind of just like it's a vibe, right? The Garden District.
Yes.
A big sense of community. I think the people that, you know, are attracted to that lifestyle and that area of town all obviously are kind of have that in common. So, you know, lots of community events, including growing your vegetables together.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly. So if you have any other feedback on the Garden District, something that you love about it or something that you know about it that you'd like to share with the other viewers, please add that in the comments. We're going to do another deep dive into another specific neighborhood here in the near future, but we're kind of giving you the insider's look behind the scenes of the Garden District here, everything you should know about the special area of town. Again, if you have questions, comments, concerns, let us know. Hit us up by text or give us a call, shoot us an email. We love to chat about all this stuff. And if you're curious about the market in these areas, we're happy to send you the inventory or talk to you about the ins and outs of purchasing a house in the Garden District or living in the Garden District. So we appreciate you, as always, following along and viewing our content and hopefully enjoying seeing us every week and what we have to share with you. So make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow along every single week. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Bye.